Alrighty, we are recording. So Andre and I don't have a like a ton of slides to share or anything. We like doing the thing where we're just answering your questions. So like I said, if you guys want to open up that chat box, we have it in front of us. And then on my side screen, I have what we're going to take you guys through. As you can see by Andre's face, he's just seeing these notes now. But he has his own stuff that he wants to share. So the first thing that I want to talk to you guys about, obviously it is June 1st. So we are officially halfway through the year, right? We're completely halfway through. I was like, do I have my math right on that? I just go.
12 divided by 2.
So we have exactly 6 months left in the year, and I think that this is the perfect time to call it a clean slate. If you guys saw the picture that I uploaded to the team page this morning, I think that it's so true, and it just so happens that I just put this on my desktop, and it says, around here we don't look back for very long. We keep moving forward, opening new doors, doing new things because we're curious, and curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. And I think that if you haven't done what you've wanted to do so far this year, that's so fitting to today, because today really can be like your January 1st if you want it to be. And it's crazy to me that most people will get more accomplished in half a year than they do a full year because there's more of a sense of urgency. That's the philosophy that I learned in reading The 12-Week Year, which is a fantastic book if you have not read it yet. So that's what we want to talk to you guys about today, is like, what are your goals? Like, what is your goal by December 31st, and not waiting until December 30th to go for that goal. And I think that, you know, whenever you might have felt that this past month, realizing, or even maybe this morning, you're like, holy crap, like it's already halfway through the year and I haven't done what I wanted to do. Whether you are a newer coach or you've been doing this a little while and you have big goals for yourself, like you have to be self-assessing. What are my goals? Like, what are my goals for this month? And again, for those of you that pushed really hard for Success Club last night, know what that's all about. Not waiting until 11 p.m. on the last day of the month to start pushing for your goals. If you had that type of focus, like for those of you that did really, really push yesterday for Success Club, and a lot of you guys made it happen, that type of focus that goes in, I usually joke and call it like the 11 p.m. focus on the Wednesday night or the last day of the month. Like that type of focus and intensity, imagine if you had that on a more consistent pace throughout the whole month, or imagine the whole year. That's how that happens. So I want to talk to you guys about that, like breaking down a 1-month goal, a 3-month goal, and a 6-month goal at this point, like your end of the year goal. So keeping that in mind, and even if something comes to mind as to what that looks like for you, like I know some people on the team want to be an elite coach this year, but you know, if you're not sitting at diamond or like very close to right now, it's time to get there now. If you're looking to be an elite coach, if you're looking to be a star diamond coach this year, again, same thing. Diamond needs to happen. So for those of you thinking of saying that for June, your big goal is to be emerald, I would challenge you to dig a little bit deeper. And that's what we want to help you guys with today, is to just dig deeper and dream a little bit bigger, because adding 2 people to your team this month could be done overnight. And hopefully we can inspire you to believe in yourself with that type of conviction. So just jot that down, you know, like maybe just the dates for now. And as we go through this, you might think of stuff, but June 30th, what do you want to have achieved? Like for those of you going to Summit, what do you want to walk into Summit as? So Summit is on July 16th, something like that. I don't know. I'll just be there. I don't even know. We're just going to be there. So what do you want to walk into Summit as? Like, what's your goal? I would challenge you to make your 30-day or so goal with a firm deadline to be a diamond coach. What's your 3-month goal? I would say your 3-month goal could be to be a star diamond coach. Now I'm just doing rank. It could be income. I'm just not driven by income. And I think that that's a good thing, because sometimes when you dictate yourself based off of money, you kind of get lost and you have different priorities and you kind of get a little bit.
Your focus.
Yeah. So, and then what is your year-end goal? What does that look like? Like maybe it's 2-star diamond, maybe it's 3-star, maybe it's 5-star diamond, elite, whatever that looks like. For me, that's how I really broke down my goals in the business, because it was non-negotiable to Success Club. That was never a goal. That was just the hashtag duh. But my big goals were always rank-based, because I knew that I had to bring on a certain level of coaches onto my team. A certain level of coaches had to see success, and that's what fuels me. So I want to talk to you guys about that. But what we hope to help you guys with is like why you're doing all of this. Like what's your reason? You know, we always talk about like the why. And a lot of people will just, you know, come back at us with, well, the reason why I want to do this is because I want to help people. That's why, newsflash, that's why every coach wants to do it. You know, that's not your deep-rooted reason why. And I think for me, and one thing that a lot of coaches seem to resonate with is when I shared my first why. My first why was the most simple, it drove me, it motivated me. That was my reason for being. And it was simply put that I wanted to have a deeper purpose in this world than staying home, watching daytime TV, trying to find my life, and watching Andre come home every single day. And then on top of that, me asking like, well, are we going to travel this year, and not being able to help in any way, shape, or form. So my why was, I want to afford a trip, like a life memory making moment for our family. We are a family, for our family. And I want to be able to provide that. That is my sense of purpose. And that drove the crap out of me, because I love to travel. Little did I know how much that would come into our life. All I wanted 3 years ago was travel. Now it's like, we're almost traveling too much. You never travel too much, but it's just funny that was my first why. And that's why I always feel like people think that they need like this earth shattering, like, I know Michaela's on here, so she'll laugh, like Miss America. Why? Like, I want to save the world. Like you just need something that'll fuel your soul. And I think that that's what's so important. Like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. For Caitlin Metz, is she on? No, she has child. It's okay. She's fresh with child. She hit Success Club 20 last month. So I said this today. I think it was today or yesterday. Anybody that has excuses as to why their business isn't moving forward, Caitlin Metz pushed out a human child in the past couple months, and she hit. You
just wanted to throw that line around.
Yeah, I said it again. But seriously, like, that's a lot. And little baby Jet, like, cutest child of my life. You guys all have cute babies. He's like a little bit colicky too, and she's still making her goals because her why is Jet. So that's, I find that very. So yeah, I just think like why that goal needs to happen for you, and if that has to do with your children, a lot of people has to do with their kids, but taking the time to think about that is huge. I know that you're big on figuring out your reason why, and you talked to the girls about that this weekend.
Yeah.
Do you have?
Yeah. So let me circle back. I think one of the good points that Angie made right now is that right now we're literally smack dab in the middle of the year, and we got to notice that that's a great opportunity to assess the progress we've made from January to now. A lot of us make New Year's resolutions. A lot of us establish our goals at the very beginning of the year, and then we never revisit them at any point in time throughout the year. What better time than now, right? Like, not that I need to sell you on the idea, but I'll challenge you. Angie and I will both challenge you right now to consider, what have you done from January to June to take you steps closer to your goals, right? Your goals, not your boss's goals, nobody else's goals. What have you done for you to accomplish your goals from January to now? And what are you going to do from now until the end of the year? Because, as the case was from January to now, you blink twice and you're here. And are you on pace for accomplishing the goals that you established for yourself back in January? So anyways, I thought that was a really good point by Angie, just to look at this as this is a mid-year, make your mid-year resolution, establish your mid-year goals. And to touch on the why, I think Angie nailed it. Like, my viewpoint is the why is we all think that we need to fabricate something. I'm generalizing. We don't all feel this way, but a lot of us feel that we need to be establishing a why that's, bigger than us. We feel bad whenever we have a selfish why. Like, I want a G65.
Yeah, so I went through this exercise with Andre this weekend and the girls, 13 girls, and I wrote out my why. And literally one of my whys is that I want to move to Florida. We want a house in Florida. I wrote like the 2 types of cars we want to drive away. Right now we have, now we have 2 cars, but we had 1 car for a long time and we got used to that. I want 2 certain types of cars. Like, it can be certain material things. The other why that I had was that I wanted to be the first to do it. And not because I want to be the first and the best. Yes, that does fuel me sometimes. But I want to be the first so that every single coach on Team Upper can know that how weird Angie is, and that girl did it. Like, that's possible for other people. So that's something that really, really drives me. Anytime that I hit a speed bump or anytime, that's why we always say, like, refocus on your why. My why, anytime that I feel torn or anytime that I'm like, hey, I'm juggling too many things and I'm just becoming like shitty at all of them and I don't know what to focus on. Like, that's a normal feeling, by the way, having to balance a lot of stuff. What gets me through it is always thinking, well, if I do this, then Ali Navarro is going to know how to do it. And that motivates me. I think about all of you guys and I'm like, if I can get through this and I stay strong and I figure out a solution, I'm very solution oriented. I love that. I don't know why. It's just something that fuels me. But I think an entrepreneur, any type of business person, especially a coach, if you're resourceful and you're solution oriented, you'll soar. And you get like a high from that. Like, when I solve a problem, I love it. So I think that that's something that gets me through it. But those were 2 reasons that I wrote on my poster, that on my homework thing. We're going to take you guys through that. Sorry, keep going.
I didn't really get to finish my point, so everybody on the team probably thinks I'm a big old jerk because my why is just a G65 and nothing else. But my point was there can be a few things that are a little bit selfish, a little bit things that you dream of, and then there can be an altruistic side to you, right? Like for Angie's example is to pave the way for everybody else on the team, right? Which I know is a sincere why of hers, because obviously I get to talk to her every single night. So, but my point was more so, don't feel like your exclusive why needs to be altruistic or above you when some things.
I'm sorry.
I'm so used to this, but anyways, I'm just trying to keep talking.
No, I was saying Becca's is to quit her soul-sucking job.
Yeah, I've been there. So, good luck to you, Becca. It's hard work, but it's worth it every step of the way. And that's what's so important, right? Like, but if you remember your why every day and you don't lose focus on it, you'll never forget why you're working so hard, right? Because this is a hard thing to do, right? Like, I shouldn't say it's not hard work, but the work is hard to do sometimes. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
that's really well put. That's beautiful.
Full of quotables. But anyways, all that just to say, your why, don't be artificial about it. Don't think nobody's judging you about your why. Like it's something exclusively for you. So don't think about what's the altruistic why that should be guiding me right now. It's what's the why that makes me tick, period.
Yeah, like what's going to get you up earlier in the morning. And whenever I think of the stuff that I want to do and the things that we want to achieve, that's what I think, okay, get your ass out of bed and get to work. So one thing that we wanted to, and I'm going to let Andre kind of explain this to you guys. So we had a very interesting meeting this morning. The ladies that came to Ottawa saw us. Andre and I's one of our whys actually was to be able to go to brunch. We love to brunch. Like it's weird. Maybe it's like a Canadian thing. I don't know. We like breakfast. Okay. We're like, what's his name?
Ron Swanson.
Ron Swanson. We are breakfast people. So we have this breakfast spot that we go to, and we go, lately we've been going a lot, but we became close with the, owner, the franchisee, because it's a franchise. Well, so we
sounds
met.
So much cooler when you say we came close to the owner.
Yeah, no, that's not the point.
The
so he owns so I'm going to let you explain it, like the concept between what he does every day, what we were talking about this morning at breakfast, like how he has this open sign every single day and the investment that he put forward in his business. Like he owns this restaurant, and his investment for the restaurant, he told us, was $750,000. And we talked about what that looks like in owning a business and the coaching side versus that. So I'll let you explain, because you're really good at explaining it.
Right. You're talking about the difference between a franchise and what we do.
Yeah, but how like the level of commitment when you spend that $750,000. Yeah,
for sure. So the context here is that his wife is a big fan of MLM as a business model. So he asked us if it was okay if his wife came and sat down with us for breakfast. So we said, that's fine. And we started talking to her a little bit about MLM, and she was talking about how she'd often get started with a network marketing company, and she felt like she was flailing. She was like, basically, as we would say, going through the mud and never actually coming out. And as we started kind of investigating her mindset and talking her through what it took to be successful in MLM, we came to realize that the perfect parallel between success and MLM is the exact same action items necessary to be successful in a franchise, one that you invested $750,000 in. And the biggest comparison that I made was at the point where, since her husband owns a restaurant, I told her, and Angie told her as well, that the only time you make money is when you turn that closed sign to open at the very beginning of the day. And it's the same thing with this business, with the coaching businesses. The days that you decide, I'm not inviting today, or I'm not posting to social media today, or I'm not going to be doing my workout today or drinking my Shakeology, essentially doing the vitals. If I'm not doing the vitals today, well, the expectation should be that you're going to make nothing the same way a franchise would. However, just because you're not risking the entire your financial health in this business, doesn't mean that you should be taking it any less seriously than you would had you invested $750,000 into a franchise. And so anyways, that was basically the message.
Well, I just find it super interesting that sometimes coaches will there was 2 things that I realized in this conversation with this woman. So she dabbled in a bunch of different companies. Like I'm sure you guys have heard of, like there was like 5 of them. And one thing that I realized right away, and we weren't in this meeting trying to sell her on Beachbody, and I want you guys to know, like we go through life, like when I'm talking to coaches that want to sign up, I never go through life with anybody. This woman at breakfast, which is a very rare anomaly, like rarely do I meet with people one-on-one like that. But we know the owner, and that was his wife, and we wanted to do him a favor, and we got free breakfast out of it, so I'm paying for that. So what I realized in her like explaining all of these other companies, you guys, we have it so friggin' good with Beachbody. Like she was trying to explain, like, I do house parties and it's like one-on-one sales and it's like one person at a time, and she just felt so salesy and icky. And she's like, furthermore, I don't really like the product. She's like, I don't really feel like wrapping saran wrap around my stomach really does anything. I was like, you think? So when she was saying that, I thought, like, how lucky are we that this is what we get to pitch to people? Real sweat, real nutrition, friggin' hard work, and if you actually do the workouts, it's really not that hard to talk about it. So when I started explaining that to her, I think I was just naturally kind of pitching Beachbody to her, because she must have been thinking, well, shit, maybe that's the business that I should be in, because it just makes more sense. So she had been having a lot of trouble with different network marketing companies that I guess have a similar model to Beachbody, but she wasn't making any money or doing anything. I was like, well, maybe consider one that is actually fucking awesome. So that was one side of the conversation. The other side of the conversation was I just realized how easy it is to give up. Like, oh, there's so many coaches sometimes that I hear that are like, well, I'm just ready to quit. You're ready to quit because you invested into a business, just like our friend invested in opening his restaurant, except the difference is that you have so much less of a penalty, I guess you would say, or a repercussion. Is that how you say? Mm-hmm. If you quit. If he quits and he gives up on that $750,000 investment, and furthermore, you know what's the other thing that I realized? Our business model is really freaking cool because we invest $106, and if you choose to treat it like a franchise and like a real business, like you did invest $750,000, not only do you don't have to wait. Oh my God, I think he's had his restaurant for 2 years, and I think he's still trying to work his way to pay this money back. He will make it back, but you can make your investment back the first week if you want to. You hit Success Club, you've made your investment back. I have never heard of a business that does that. Like, you don't have to pay staff. Beachbody is doing that for you. You don't have to deal with returns. You don't have to deal with shipping. And I know I'm not trying to sell you guys on coaching, but sometimes I'm like, what the hell? Because we've had our own business before where we had like tank tops and stuff and t-shirts. We had to ship all that. We had to deal with angry customers. We had to do our own website. We had to do all of that stuff. And Beachbody literally does all that for us. And you don't have to reinvest in the business unless you want to. So that's where that was the two kind of, and I just think it's like really a decision. Either you choose to treat it like $160 investment that you can give up and throw your hands up at any time, mm-hmm. or you can treat it like a lifelong commitment. And the other parallel, if you guys saw me go on a small rant last week on my Facebook Live, and I think that it was a very fair comparison, a little bit intense, but it's true. I feel like people that, dabble and do one toe in, one toe out. And I think that if you can get over that mindset and really just jump. If you guys saw my Instagram post yesterday, I talked about jumping. Yesterday was my 4-year anniversary as a coach. And trust me, it was not easy to make the decision to jump and go all in. But when I decided that I was going to do this, I said, I'm either doing this. It's like either go big or go home. You do it. And you do it right. And I have always been raised that way, and I'm very intense that way, but I don't believe in dabbling. So if you're someone that's one toe in, one toe out, it's kind of the same if you choose to commit to this business, that you're in a long-term relationship for a long time, and it's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows and butterflies all the time in a relationship. Those of you who have been married for a long time, you know this, or even just dating for a long time. Andre and I were dating for 7 years, and you go through the honeymoon phase, and it's like, holy shit, now this is friggin' hard, and you're like kind of annoying now. Whereas like the stuff that you used to do was kind of endearing, and now you're just like pissing me off a little bit. Totally normal. But you hit that lull, and then you're cool. I'm saying like the general population. So, and then you kind of work at it a little bit, and then stuff starts to soar, and it actually gets better than it was even in the honeymoon phase. So my point in this is, if when shit gets hard, if you were to just kind of look at the next shiny object or the next hot person that walks by, it's the same thing as in business. Am I explaining this properly? You're making a lot of funny faces.
Just laughing at how passionate you were getting. But you're right. You're right. It is that, right?
It is.
If you're not focused on this and you're in this, but maybe I'll keep my eye out for this.
And can I say something else? And even in that next said shiny thing, say you do, okay, I'm going to go for that next thing. Guess what's going to happen when shit gets hard then? You'll be on to the next shiny thing. So I think that it's a matter of focus. Sorry, okay, go.
Should I just go upstairs?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay, cool. No, you said exactly what I was going to say.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you're good at this game.
Okay. So, yes, did you have anything else to say about the because that was your thing, was like the
this
franchise?
is like the world's longest intro.
Cool. Okay. So this is kind of this was all Andre's idea, how we like broke this down. So I want you to explain the five things that, so in terms of your goal.
Yeah. So this past weekend we went through this exact activity. Why are you smiling like that?
No, I'm.
Oh, okay, cool. This past weekend we went through this exact activity whereby we wanted to strategize the rest of our year. And it started off with establishing our big goal. So if you're looking at a piece of paper, at the very top of that piece of paper, you should establish what your big goal is and make it business related. So this is specifically for this business. So it might be elite coach. It might be diamond coach. It might be star diamond, six figure earner, whatever that looks like for you. But whatever, whatever your big goal is, at the top of your page, you write down your big goal and then you write down your name beneath it. So it'd be like elite top 10 coach, Angie Bellemare, or elite 5-star diamond coach, Ali Navarro. And you go from there. So that's
sorry, Ali, we're totally picking on you tonight.
I just saw her name pop up.
I did too earlier.
So anyways, that's top of the page. Then I chose kind of the far right. Oh my goodness, everything's opposite. Far right corner. Far right corner of the paper to write down 3 reasons why that goal was important to me. So again, not just superficial stuff that doesn't make you tick. Nobody needs to see this piece of paper. 3 reasons why it is vitally important for you to work hard every single day for that said goal.
I can pull up the example if you want me to.
Sure, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
See, I did bring props. I'll share my screen with you guys if you want to do this. 1 second. If you guys want to do this either now, like jot down stuff while we're talking as your ideas are flowing. So I have the layout of the actual poster that we did, and then I can give you guys another example with examples of what to write. So this is what it would look like. Can you guys see that? I'll wait till the chat. There's like, I feel like you guys are all
yes.
okay, cool. Goodness. Awesome. Okay, so like Andre said, you have your big goal, your name, and the goal date of this big goal happening, and the 3 reasons why it's important, it needs to happen. Continue.
Okay, so 3 reasons why. Then across your page, you can write 5 things that need to happen or change in your business or with you for that goal to come to fruition. Again, that's 5 things that need to happen or change within your business or you for that big goal to happen. So I guess an example would be, let's say your goal is to be a diamond coach. One of the things that need to happen is you need to have a good system for recruiting new talent, bringing new coaches into your organization. Yeah,
new business builders, people that are go-getters that want to work the business. You had a good one this weekend. You said, creating the culture of a diamond team as well.
Yeah, that'd be something else for sure.
Okay, keep going and then I'll show my example. I did a poster with an example of mine.
Okay. And beneath those 5 things,
each of the 5 things.
Each of those 5 things, you write 5 to 10 actionable steps for those things to take place in your business.
Yeah.
So again, to go back on the example, diamond coach, one of the 5 things would be something along the lines of a system for recruiting coaches. And then you might have as one of the things, make a video to explain coaching to prospects, or record new videos for a coaching sneak peek. Oh, okay, fantastic.
Yeah, I made an example. Like it's pretty basic, but you guys will get the idea. So I did it for a diamond coach by June 30th. So I wrote my 3 whys that I felt before I went diamond. Feel a sense of momentum and purpose. I knew that if I went diamond, that would be just like Emerald, that was my momentum. That was something. My big goal was 2-star as a newer coach. And I knew that the sooner diamond happened, the sooner that became possible for my team, and the sooner that would get me to my goal. So I knew that it had to happen. And I knew that momentum for me was a lot about my mindset being on point, because I would feel that movement moving forward. I wanted to make at least $500 a week in my business and save up for our trip to Disney. And like I said, I wanted to help my coaches see that it was possible and understand their potential. That was always something that really, really motivated me. I knew that I had to work on my time management. I knew that I had to be a better leader. So my team culture had to be on point. I did a lot of personal development on leadership. I had to grow my team. So I had to be a boss at recruiting legit go-getters like you guys. All of you guys on the team, I get asked this all the time from other coaches in the network. Do you have a lot of discount coaches on your team? We don't. Uproar is very rare. You guys are fucking go-getters, and I love it. It makes me so happy. And then your challenge group needs to grow, and you need to be able to help your team run a challenge group. And number 5, I need to be 100% stable in my noggin. So doing personal development was huge. So I just wrote a couple of actionable items as examples. Hopefully they're okay.
No, that's exactly it. So you should probably just share this in the team
So
group.
one thing that I shared, what I shared with the girls this weekend was, when you make action items, don't just plan to plan some more. And that's kind of the theme this year, because I see so many people still telling me that they're reading, a book that they said that they were reading last December. Like I mentioned 12-week year earlier in the call. And so there's some coaches on the team that are like, I saw them reading that in November and they're still reading it now. Read the book. If it's not clicking with you, put it down and grab a new one. I read and listen to audio personal development. Like I finished my Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck this weekend. Well, we were prepping for our photo shoot this weekend with the girls. I went, did my makeup, and I listened to that. And I finished the book. Absolutely phenomenal book. But I plow through books. It's the only way to get better. So instead of, maybe doing something else that's not going to fuel your soul and help you grow, it's the little choices. So these really are tangible things that you're not just collecting to collect. It kills me that every time I bring up, I'm always very reluctant to bring up a training or a personal development book, because I almost feel like some coaches just add it to their to-do list. They're planning to plan. And this really, to me, are tangible items that hopefully it isn't, plan to do a blog, put game plan together for recruiting. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm literally looking for stuff that you can cross off and really feel that momentum. So 5 a.m. wake up time. That's something that daily I can be like, yep, you did good today, Angie. Workout first. That's the first thing that I want to do every single morning. So I'm going to wake up and I'm going to work out. I'm going to drink my Shakeology. I'm going to do my personal development first thing. The other thing is, I would say if you're pushing for Diamond, one thing that I had as a goal was to attend every single team call that Janelle Summers did. You guys have access to Janelle Summers calls, by the way. Usually we post them every single week. That was something that as a new coach, I listened to. And whenever I had extra time, I would go listen to previous ones. Like that is what I spent my weekends doing. And I cannot tell you how many aha moments and how many questions of mine got answered by doing that. So that was something that tremendously grew me. It grew my culture. It grew me as a leader. The other thing that I did to recruit was I got really, really good at coach sneak peeks and inviting. Do you want to know how I did that? Because trust me, I was shy. I was like really shy. If those of you guys that have seen my old videos from 4 years ago, holy crap. So one thing that I did is I just committed to doing that every single week. It was a tangible thing that I could cross off my list and know that I was getting better. I wasn't blessed with like some inviting skill. I just made it a non-negotiable every single week to invite at least 5 people, legit invite. So this doesn't include like planting seeds and saying, hey girl, and all those conversations. These are legit, hey, I really think you'd be a great coach. Have you ever considered doing what I do? Those type of invites. And not either just barfing that out at people. 3 posts every single day on social media that are value added, and I constantly am self-assessing my social media. Host a monthly challenge group, non-negotiable, again, something you can cross off. That's going to be part of your challenge group growth. If you're not hosting a challenge group every single month, you have nobody, you can't add people to it. The other thing is inviting people to your challenge groups every single day. And, oh, sorry, I said 5 coach invites weekly. I mean daily. Sorry. It can be weekly if you, it all depends on how fast you want to grow your business, honestly. I'm not going to tell you what numbers you need to hit, but that was just what I went for. I gave an example of a book that I wanted to read. Attend Summit. Can we just go on a small rant about Summit whenever I've done this list and then follow up every single day? I would make sure that there was we still do this. Whether we have 400 emails in our inbox or 5, we mash all emails out every single day and we get that number to 0 because we don't want to leave people hanging for a week. The reason why you might be getting a ton of no's is because they don't trust you because you just left them in your inbox for 5 days. Cool. Okay, so really quickly about Summit and about personal development. I'll share these in the team group, by the way, so you guys don't have to worry about you could have screenshot or whatever, but I'll share it. So Summit is coming up, and it was this exact time to this day, 4 years ago, because I had signed up as a coach yesterday, 4 years ago. The day after I signed up, I remember right around 2 hours from now, we went to bed, and I remember I told Andre, and I went really high pitched because when I want something, I go really high pitched. I'm like, so there's this thing in Vegas called Coach Summit. At the time it was in Vegas. And Sean T is going to be there, and Shalene Johnson. And there's this thing called the Core where you can go shopping. And then I think like all new coaches should be there. And I really want to go. And he was like,
Hells no.
hell no, how much does that cost? It's far to go to Vegas for a Canadian. And I remember thinking, like, I just really think that if I'm going to, again, jump into this and do this properly, that I need to be at the biggest event of the year. And I knew that coaches went to it. I had been following the stuff long enough. I had already done some training and some, by that time, like a day in, I was amped. And I eventually convinced him, I think, through, maybe you can talk on that, how, because a lot of people always ask me about spouse support, like how you get the buy-in of your spouse. And
well, I know how you got my buy-in on that. You just wore me down just every single day. Walk to the coffee shop. I'm really thinking we should go to Vegas
for Summit.
Yeah.
So that's my
insight. Wearing down?
No, I think it was the passion, the level of that I was sticking with it.
There was definitely a level of conviction within Angie that I probably hadn't seen in like her previous ventures that got me. I guess warmed me up to the idea of going to Vegas. And of course there was a side deal that we get to do a few Vegas things too. So.
And so when we were there, I have to say that was the thing. Like if you're feeling stuck or unsure, you just lack that sense of confidence or belief. For me, confidence was huge in this business. Like I didn't know if I could do it. I didn't know if I believed in myself. I didn't know if I would be one of those coaches that could do it. Like I saw a lot of people, that was one of my limiting beliefs. My upline was in a Turbo Fire video or a couple Turbo Fire videos. And I thought, and I was surrounded by people that were in the videos, Janelle and Christine and everyone around me was in the video. So I thought the only way that I'll ever be successful at this business is I have to be in the videos. And I'm not one of those coaches. The other thing is Ashley actually won. I don't know if you guys know this. Ashley won the Beachbody Challenge, like on stage with the fireworks and shit. Like she amazing. So I thought that I had to have an amazing weight loss story. She was in the infomercials and everything. So I thought that. And it was a huge limiting belief of mine. And so when I got to Summit and I was lucky enough that I got to go to the Success Club party with Ashley. Ashley's my upline. She took me and I met these coaches that at the time I had no idea who they were. She was saying like, this is so-and-so and this is so-and-so. Literally the next day at the recognition, there's a lot of recognition at Summit. They bring out all the Millionaire Club people. And they were the people I met the night before that I was like, they're hilarious and like super real and normal. And like, I could totally do that. And it was a huge aha moment for me. So even though I have little goosies, so even though they have goosebumpers, so even though I went to the training and I saw John C. Maxwell and all of these amazing speakers, I remember I sat in the audience during a workshop and it was so much smaller than it is now. It's hilarious. But I remember thinking I would probably die and pass out. But for whatever reason, I wanted to be one of those coaches that spoke on stage. I was like, I don't know how, because I would probably have a heart attack because I was so shy. But I want to do that because it's not really something that's earned by rank. It's something that you have to be a good enough coach for them to ask you. So that was a huge goal of mine. And I feel like you set like these big, scary, crazy goals at Summit because it's so visual to you. Like you see the people sitting in the VIP with the floor seats, and you see that. I remember asking my upline, I was like, who are those people sitting in the red seats down there, like in the VIP section? Said those are called elite coaches, and I was like, I want to be an elite coach. And they had like a barricaded area off, like they had their own shopping stuff one night. Like the first night, you guys saw the picture that I posted of my first Summit versus now. When I took that picture, there was people going into some VIP party as elite coaches, and I was like, I want to do that. Like I want a red carpet and stuff like that with champagne. So this year, the girls that hit elite on Team Up are going to get to experience that, and I'm very excited to experience it with them. But it's all that type of stuff at Summit is what makes it real in your head. So if you even have like a small, tiny tidbit of an inkling that you want to go to Summit, do whatever you have to make it happen. I got a text today from sorry if it's somebody on the call, I totally forget because I was in the middle of a million things, but someone said I'm going to sell my purse to go. Maybe it's a Louis Vuitton, I have no idea, but they're like, I'm going to sell my purse so I can go to Summit. I'm like, dude, friggin' do it, man. Like I respect whoever sent that. Like I respect the shit out of you. So that's my little, do you have thoughts on Summit?
Yeah, Summit is a great event. Like Angie said, you'll never totally understand the community of Beachbody until you go to Summit. It's as simple as that. And you can never really, I guess, what?
If you want spouse, a lot of people say like, how do I get my spouse to believe? Get them to go to Summit.
Yeah. I guess like my aha moment at Summit was definitely like and back then I was not really understanding, first and foremost, not understanding the community, not understanding how we can serve our purpose through coaching, because to me, the business was still simplistic back then. There wasn't this kind of greater purpose that you can serve through coaching. Now I understand that there's so much more to coaching than this, but I remember Angie and I were sitting in the, where the boxing matches happened at the gym ground. What do you call that place? Anyways.
I don't know.
Anyways, there's all the boxing matches. So it probably seats like 20,000 people, and there's probably like 5,000 people there. And Angie and I, of course, being the introverts that we are, we sat up in the nosebleeds in Timbuktu.
With Melissa Bardage. What? The second year, yeah.
No, the first year.
Well, then we were sitting in the second.
We were alone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we're sitting up in the nosebleeds by ourselves. And Carl Deichler comes out on stage and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the Millionaires Club." And I remember nudging Angie and being like, watch the one person come out. You know, that one person that's seen any success with this business model. And boom, 32 people come out on stage. And of course, back then, like I said, I was very narrow, right? This business was like, is it a viable business? Yes or no? And then 32 people come out on stage as having earned 7 figures. Yes, you can bring significant others to Summit. So that happened. And then we started kind of having conversations with them. And like Angie said, they were extremely real people, but it opened my eyes to the actual potential of the business. It made me realize that this was in fact the equivalent of any franchise out there in terms of earning potential and in terms of lifestyle potential. Again, like I said, back then I wasn't familiar with the ability to serve a purpose through it, but I knew at that point that we were engaged in a real business. And I think that Summit flipped the switch, at least within me, probably within her too. To actually take this business seriously. So, and furthermore, like you engage in some of the best conversation and training you'll ever have in your life. Like, you know, Gary Vaynerchuk is a genius. He was there last year.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
John C. Maxwell is a genius. He was there the first year we went. Darren Hardy is a genius. So,
and even like the coaches' talks are so good.
There's some smart people.
They tell us like, you got to give them the best of the best. Like, what are you doing? And so Bonnie and I are, I don't know if you guys know this, for those of you that are registered probably know, but Bonnie Engel and I are teamed up together. So number 2 and number 4 from last year, we're doing a talk on branding. We have had like countless meetings, countless prep on this to give you 20 minutes of our best stuff. So that to me is huge as well. That helped me so much. One of the first trainings I sat through at Summit was how to earn $1,000 a month in your business. And that changed my world. It was amazing. Because it doesn't go to everybody on the chat. So Carly asked a really good question. Can you bring a significant other to Summit? You 100% can. They don't have to be a coach. You can bring whoever you want to Summit. You just have to register them with a ticket. Anything else that you wanted to add about Summit?
Not about Summit, no.
Cool. Other than get your ass there. And we have a Team Uproar group on Facebook. If you need to be added to it, just message me or Andre. We can add you or just post in the group or ask your upline. And there's like a ton of people that are offering to like either share rooms or they have an extra hotel room or all that type of stuff too, if you need help with that. So I have just like a list of like 4 things that I wanted to mash out super, super quick, and then we'll let you guys go. But these were questions that I kind of compiled, just common questions that we get. The first thing that I want to say, and this is like the last thing that I put on my list, but I'm amped about it. In terms of where you are in your business and where someone else is in theirs, anyone else, me, another top 10 coach, someone that's been doing this for 9 years, someone on the team that's been doing this for 2 days and is killing it, no matter who that is, stop letting comparison derail you. You know, when you're not looking forward and you're looking at what everybody else is doing, and that's so, I have to say that that's so different from trying to be inspired by other people. You know, I grew my business by being inspired by other coaches. The coaches that were killing it, I looked at what they were doing, but I never took it away from my own self-worth. You have a way of doing this and you have a path. And I promise you, something that I learned this weekend that I never understood how to put it into words, but I was talking to the girls this weekend. You guys probably, oh my God, my neck is all, every time I do a call, my neck gets so red. Can you guys see my necklace, the cross? The reason that I wear this necklace is because I truly, and this is something that I have on my vision board and on my dream board, maybe it makes me a bit weird, but it keeps me sane. I believe that you have a path. And there is no point in stressing and dwelling and comparing yourself and tearing yourself down when you will be fine. You will be just fine. And that was something, we had someone from corporate who drove all the way out to our lake cottage this weekend, which was so nice of him, to share his story and to drop some knowledge. And one thing that he said that really, really stuck with me, and he put it into words that I just had so much trouble expressing, was, you will be just fine. You will make it in this business. If that's what you want, I guarantee you, you will be just fine. You will make it big if that's your goal. So stop letting other people's success derail you. because you're just slowing yourself down. Cool. I saw comments of like, so-and-so is here and I don't know how that's possible. It shouldn't even be on your radar. Like, honestly, I'm like laser focused on my goals and you guys' goals, and that's what I focus on. Do you have anything to say on that?
No, perfectly said.
So I saw a lot of questions about getting to yes and how like it's draining, like you're inviting so many people and you feel rejected, and it's really hard when people are saying no, and you feel like you're inviting a lot. So I'm gonna let the master just talk about that for 2 seconds.
Getting to yes.
Getting to yes, getting rejections, like it being draining.
First of all, you should know that we probably got around 100 no's this week. This week. We probably got around 100 no's, but it doesn't phase us that much because we probably got around 30 yeses. So, you know, if you're getting a lot of no's, it's probably by virtue of the fact that you're just not practiced enough. You're not seasoned enough. You're not doing it enough. You need to practice more. But that being said, one thing that I've been having a conversation with a lot of people is a lot of people stop themselves from being successful in this business because they're afraid of alienating friends and family. And I promise this leads into how to get to yes. But the only way you alienate people within your immediate circle is whenever you change who you are because of what you want out of a conversation, right? Like if your outcome, yeah, for sure. If your outcome is clear to the individual you're speaking, what's going on here? If the outcome is clear to the individual you're speaking to and they can't identify with the real you when you're having that conversation, then I will guarantee you're going to get a no. For example, if you turn into a robot when you're speaking to somebody and you have no emotion, there's a good chance that that's going to lead to no. If you're copy pasting a message generic that you think applies to all of your friends and family, you are wrong. It does not apply to all your friends and family. You need to tell somebody why you thought of them. That's step one. Why you thought of them for what it is that you want to have a conversation about. For example, let's say I had a conversation with Angie and she tells me 2 weeks ago that she doesn't have time to work out. I might approach her as such. Hey, Angie, remember 2 weeks ago whenever you spoke to me about the fact that you didn't have time to work out? Well, I happen to be doing something from home with no equipment that I get done in 25 minutes a day. Do you think that you have 25 minutes in a day to do a workout? If you do not speak like me, do not speak like that, but do it in your own way, meaning your own tone and your own message. My point is you want to start off by saying why you thought of that individual. Cool? And the second point is take a genuine interest in the person you're speaking to, right? Like don't spread value where value is not desired, right? If you have a solution to a problem that somebody has, then it is your duty to pass that forward. But if you're just picking people at random and just sending a message
for your own benefit
and thinking, hey, maybe this person will buy a program, but the person's a bikini competitor and, you know, has a rigorous exercise, you know, like maybe she's better suited for coaching. My point is, if you're just throwing it out there for people, well, I am going to tell you right now, you're going to get a lot of no's unless you're thoughtful.
And putting people first.
Exactly. You're thoughtful about who you're approaching and why you're approaching it. And through the conversation, at no point in time are you thinking about your goals. And I'm telling you, that is the most common error is some point.
That'd be a perfect example.
I get no's.
Jennifer. That's a perfect example.
I can't hear it.
Jennifer Myers. No, just Jennifer's story of like how we met Jennifer and like all like everything that came from that.
That's a story, you know.
So I can see that Jennifer's on. And Jen, if you go back a couple weeks, there's a call I'm talking about how I have a challenger that is absolutely amazing. That should be a coach. I mentioned you. So Jen has been following me since back in the day before there was Facebook Live and there was a little something called Periscope. And that's how long I've known Jennifer. And she followed me. We became Facebook friends. Shortly after that, I think she found my fan page and then we became actual Facebook friends. And then she way then after joined my challenge group, but in her opinion, it's probably not that far after because in my world, I was like, oh my God, like, why isn't she in my challenge group already? Because this girl would be like amazing for this. And she ended up starting with Country Heat, I believe. Right. And so we talked about like goals. We talked about what would be best for her. I knew her, like I saw her all the time on my Periscopes and we just got to know each other. And that's the level of patience I think that not every coach understands that you need with every single one of the people that will get to yes and be a rock star coach eventually. So Jen went through a couple months of my challenge group and I kept thinking, I'm like, how is this girl not a coach yet? Like, great story, great human being, would make a great coach. And, you know, I planted the seed just very genuinely, but was it a copy paste message? No, never. And I think that if you have that level of care towards every single person, and when we say getting to know, it's not about getting to know by throwing invites out there. It's getting to know like a genuine, like, you know, Angie, it's just not the right time for me, and continuing on with the other conversations. And what's cool is people end up coming back and you end up getting awesome yeses like that. But it's that level of patience and belief that you need to have. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I just saw Jen. I was like, that's the perfect example. In terms of, like, trust me, I got a lot more no's in the beginning, but because I just kept doing it, and I always had that long-term vision. I always had like the 6-month, 1-year, 2-year vision instead of the, it's not working for me right this second, and I'm not getting any yeses right this second. That was really the difference, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing that I saw a question about is, how do I add actual value on social media?
Yeah. Just to finish my point on
Sorry.
what I was saying.
This is what it's like to live with Angie.
What was that? That's what it's like to live with me.
We're fun.
Yeah, for fun. Anyways, what I was saying is, so often through conversations at any point in time, and it happens so frequently, even to us, we divert from their goals and we focus on our own. For example, at 11 p.m. on the 31st of May, we're sending people messages desperately trying to get a sale. And we're not focused on trying to get them started with the right solution for them. We're trying to think about their goals and equating their goals to this value we have to offer through our solutions. Cool? Fair?
Yeah.
Fair? Okay, cool. Now you can do it.
That's cool. I can just see people raising their hands. It's super interesting.
What?
I never knew that. I can see it. I think it's in Q&A. I'll for those of you that sent the Q&A message, I just opened it up, so we'll make sure to answer those too. So adding.
Hold on, actually, just address the second one there. Is it too late to get tickets for this year?
No, it's not too late to get tickets to Summit this year. If you just go to coachsummit.com, the tickets are all on there.
Okay, cool.
That's the simplest way. So I saw a couple of questions. How do I actually add value on social media? Now, I get super passionate about this topic because you guys, and I leave my posts up on social media for a reason. If you were to scroll back in time on my fan page, I think my fan page would be a better example, fan page or Instagram, you'll see what I did in the beginning. Was it amazing? No, but I did it. And I just kept getting better. And you can truly see the improvement, like how I kind of just compounded on everything that I learned. And I was like, okay, that's working well. And you guys are going to see in the next couple months, I'm going to get even better because I'm still learning. But I never slow down. And I think so many people get discouraged with social media. One, because they're not feeling like they're authentically themselves. And trust me when I say I have been there. When you feel like you are not authentically yourself, social media can suck the life out of you because you think that because you're seeing, I don't know, maybe certain coaches like an Amy Silverman or even me to a certain extent. Whenever I see coaches do like the Angie pose with like the butt out and like the pink stuff, I'm like, that's me because I'm like a little bit weird and that's my brand and I'm very, very comfortable doing that. But you know, if it's not your thing to like show your midriff and wear barely next to anything when you're doing a workout, that is literally, you guys, you have, the reason I'm red, I said I was red earlier, just so you guys know, I'm very warm. Like I'm always hot. So thank God I work out from home.
What are you getting at with
because
this?
This is why I love Beachbody, because I can work out from home in my little skivvies and nobody needs to know.
I see.
So when we were like traveling, I'm like, oh my God, I have to wear like real workout clothes because that's just how I am. So if I take a picture, it's authentically me. So my point in this is sometimes I see people trying to take selfies and they're like, I don't want to take like a selfie half naked. Dude, don't. If it's not your thing, it's not your thing. Or one realization that I had a couple months ago. Why do I try and take pictures of food? I don't cook. I hate cooking. It's like a new thing. I used to like cooking. I don't like cooking anymore. So I'm not going to try and fake it and try and make these beautiful plates of stuff. Andre cooks now. So he's a great cook. The girls that were there this weekend got to deal with Andre. So my point in this is social media. On one side, you have to be authentically yourself and figure out what makes you you. Like just sharing your journey every single day. But another thing is to get better at it by learning. Social media can be a form of personal development. I just mashed through last week. I mashed through an academy. So I got an academy. Some of you guys are doing the Jesse Regan Academy for Facebook. I'm just getting better at sharing on Facebook. I did an Instagram one. I bought it and I did it. And that's what I'm talking about with collecting information. If you're going to buy a book on how to get great at Instagram, read it, apply it. Don't just let it sit there and collect dust and be like, well, I'll plan to get better. I really think that implementing and just posting and trying to assess and how to get better is really, to me, a huge, huge key. Learning from other coaches and seeing what they're doing. And this is my biggest key. Don't put stuff out there just to put stuff out there because there are 360,000, right? other coaches,
Mm-hmm.
and there is Amazon that sells Beachbody programs. People want to work with you. You are the X factor. If you can share, I always say, like, I'll be your fit BFF. That is how I want people to see it. Like, I want to be your friend. I don't know if you guys can all see each other's comments because it just says to panelists, so I'm thinking that's just me and Andre that can see it. But Jen wrote, when we were just sharing Jen's story, she said, you never pushed me and I always felt like you were my friend first. That's what you have to do in your social media. That's what you have to do with people. Yes, it takes more time, and that's why I always say your caring factor needs to be higher than anything else. That's what makes the difference, is your give a shit factor of messages to people, but also posting. So if you're just putting stuff out to put stuff out, to go live just to go live, but not actually having that intent to change lives and to really impact someone's day, then you'll just fall into the other 360,000 people.
Yeah.
You have to be the best.
Worse than that.
Yeah.
There's 360,000 coaches, but there are hundreds of millions
of people,
of mediocre Instagrammers out there.
So don't
there
be
are
one.
Hundreds of millions of mediocre Facebookers out there. Facebookers, is that a thing? Anyways, point is, you're white noise unless you're to Angie's point, sharing real, raw, authentic, you. That's
not to say you have to be like the best photographer or the best writer. It's to hold yourself to a higher standard. If you're literally just, this is from like 2 days ago, but I'll just like the Starbucks pictures, like just a picture of, I'm at coffee day. No one cares. That has value to no one's life. So thinking about that, like, is this a valuable post? Will this help someone today? And I always, yeah?
Yeah, no.
Sorry if I'm being mean.
No, it's two parts, right? Like, you got to assess what value is, and sometimes things just aren't valuable. But that being said, sometimes we perceive things to be of no value, but they're of great value.
Yeah, like my favorite post is someone saying, I worked out today because of you. If I'm just like, dude, you can do it, I believe in you. Those types of posts for me do really well because people look to my page for that extra oomph that they can do their workout. Is that what you were trying to say?
No, but yes.
Oh.
What I was saying is, if you're going through the day, you're doing your workout, you're engaging in personal development, you're interacting with us, you have unique experiences. It is not common for people to work out and engage in healthy habits. Therefore, when you do work out and engage in healthy habits, you have content opportunity. It's not common for people to engage in personal development. So when you do come about something that strikes you as important in your life, there's a very good chance it's important to a lot of other people because it is not common to engage in personal development. And it is not common to be a part of a community where everybody tries to lift each other up, where everybody tries to, is very passionate about talking about their goals and helping you accomplish yours. Yeah. It's not common for those things. So when we think we're not adding value, but when in reality, just being a part of this community and sharing bits and pieces of this community is very valuable to some people. Sharing bits and pieces of the book we're reading is very valuable to some people, and sharing our workouts and stuff are very valuable to some people. So it's about putting value into perspective, and it's also about not BSing yourself into thinking that people want to know what you're doing in a day, unless you're famous.
No, well, to the point that's going on in the chat, like, I disagree. I think if you're on Instagram stories, Facebook stories, Snapchat, whatever the hell you want to be on, just if you're going to pick one of those, there better be people watching, because everybody that's going to hide over on Snapchat with your 0 views, it's no discrediting you because you have 0 views. It's you using that as a platform to say, hey, I posted on social media today, but no one is seeing it. So the point of social media is to get more eyes on you to help you build your business. So if no one is seeing it, you're just wasting your time. So post on Instagram stories, post on Snapchat if you want to, post on Facebook stories. But it is value if you choose to make it value. It's the same thing. When I chase Carl around the house, that is calculated. It is hilarious, and it adds. Someone told me last week that their horse died, and they had I think it was a horse. They had the worst day ever. Yeah. And they were devastated. They had the worst day ever. And they were like, your snaps of Carl, you yelling at Carl, made me smile today. Thank you. And I hadn't smiled in a week. That's why I do it. It's to make people laugh. So value added can be people like Bonnie Engel does that all the time. She posts the most hilarious shit sometimes. That's valuable. So I think assessing, the weird, I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example of something, but if listen, would you click like on your post? Would you share your post? Yeah. That's usually a good indication.
I didn't want to get specific here, but Angie's talking about Snapchat here, not Instagram stories. Because Instagram stories, your followers see your stories and they see your posts, obviously. So we're talking about Snapchat. If you have no viewers on Snapchat, you're not adding value to anybody's life. But Instagram, obviously your followers see your stories. So I didn't want to get specific.
I think it's with any social media, though. If you choose to make it valuable, you will. If it's just a blurry picture of you, just a snap, then It's not. And then same thing, there was a question on expanding your market, like how to grow your market. That comes down to the same thing. Like this poster that we're having you guys do, that will, things in there, like the to-do list of expanding your market, posting every single day. The power of posting 3 great posts every single day. Stop getting derailed by hashtags. You guys will notice my past couple posts, no hashtags unless it's a joke. Like, or if it was the team up for retreat so that everybody could find it. Like all these little details, they're derailing you. It's a distraction from the bigger picture. It's when I have the right hashtags, I will post on social media. When I have the best camera, I will post. When I have the right notebook, I will set the right goals. When I have a bigger team group, I'll open up a team page and name. You know, like all those things are just things of you waiting to move forward where you're holding yourself back. Stop holding yourself back and giving yourselves reasons not to move forward. If you're feeling like you're not growing your cold market, start posting more, start reaching out to people. I did an Instagram call for the people at Hit Success Club. I'm happy to do another one this month again, but I shared something that I do. I literally will go on people's pages and I'll show you guys what I did and I'll end it with this. It's a great tip. So what I do is I will go on my Instagram, I'll open up my Instagram and I'll go find a page of someone that I like I like their page. So let's call it Brittany Dawn Fitness. I like Brittany Dawn. I follow her YouTube channel. I've always liked her. So if you go, I hate that it does that.
You gotta go like this, like don't you? No.
Can you guys see that? Like, whatever, they know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She has 459,000 followers. If I click, that's a clickable link. So I click on the followers and then you'll have a list of all of the people. So I'll go, okay, Lindsay Ray, perfect. Okay, the second one, Lindsay Ray, super cute, 20 years old, Virgo. Best friends forever. Okay, her account's private though, so I can't do shit with that. You guys better make sure that your accounts are not private, by the way. I'm literally, you know, whenever in high school, I always use this example, but in high schools, they will, they call it recruiting. The coaches from teams in university will go watch the football games in high school and they will wine and dine and recruit. They'll watch the kids playing on the football field and they'll be like, I want that one. He's the best. So I look at people's profile pictures and I will go through it. Oh, this girl, Lily. Lily is adorable. She doesn't even know it yet, but she's going to be Instagram famous. She has 17 followers, probably a brand new page. Her name is Lily. Cute, right?
Oh, right?
So this is what I would do. You guys can't see it, but anyways, she has a bunch of cute food pictures. So what I would do is, this is my recipe, 5 likes. So the 5 most recent pictures, I double tap, right? Her stuff is, this girl's going to be Instagram. Watch, Lily's going to sign up on the team. So I asked, the reason I figured out that this works is I asked a lot of coaches. Lauren McHugh is one of them. She's on the call. I asked my coaches in my Getting Started Right calls, I'm like, how did you sign up on the team? How'd you find me? And they'll say, by the way, this is a reason to stay on the call till the end. This is good shit. I asked Lauren, how did you find me? And she said, one day you commented on my picture, on my Turbo Fire picture. So, and then we became friends on Facebook, on Instagram. So 5 likes. And then I would say 1 or 2 comments, don't be weird. So, and recent, so she has like an Egg McMuffin picture with the recipe. This girl's amazing. So then I would comment and just say something authentic, not love with a heart, because shit, that's so weird. Just authentic. So something like,
on my way to McDonald's for a McMuffin. Thank you.
This looks delicious and I love your page. And I seriously love. And I want you guys to know I do this, and I have done this for the past 3 and some years, every single day when I run my bath. Fun fact about Angie, I don't have showers, I only have baths. I've never even used a shower in our house. Been here a year, never used it, right? It's true. And when my bath runs, I do this every single day. This looks delicious, and I seriously love your page, with an emoji of a heart and some other hand gestures and comment. So I will usually do 4 or 5 likes on recent pictures, 1 or 2 comments, and if they're awesome, like Lily is, and I follow them. That's 1. And I'll do about 10 to 20 to 30 a day, depending on how fast I go. When you do that and you are literally connecting with people, again, it's that give a shit factor. It's not me just hoping that I get followers and I'm posting stuff. I'm putting myself out there, and yes, it's work, but consistently over time, man, does it add up. So that's something that I've done, and that's how I've grown such a big followership. Hopefully that's helpful for you guys as a little tidbit of information from Angie. I'm gonna leave you guys with that. That's my last tip. Hopefully this was all helpful for you guys. Yay, awesome. Yay, awesome. Okay, so we'll have the recording up for you guys. within the hour, as we always do. It's always in the album section. And next week we have a speaker by the name of Tara Carr. If you guys do not know who Tara is, go do your research. She is a coach, has been a coach for, I want to say 9 years. She is Millionaires Club. She's one of the people that I'm talking about that I met at that party. Millionaires Club, 15-star diamond coach. And you guys are going to, I'll write it in the team group. You guys will love her because she is, I wanted one of you guys said, I love the real talk. And I thought, who is the queen of real talk? Tara Carr is crazy, like in the best way. She will set your game straight and get you in gear to be a top earner and anything that you want to achieve. And I'm really, really excited for her to speak. So Andre and I will be in Italy. I think Jade Raymond will be able to host the call and intro her. If it's not Jade, I will find another leader on the team to do that for me. And I really, really appreciate you guys when you do that because we can't be on every single week. But Tara will be on next week. And yeah, I met her because of Ashley. Ashley introduced me to her. So yeah, I think she's been a coach for like 9 years.
Since 2011, 8 years.
Since
6 years.
Since 2011. Okay, cool. So yeah, rock star. Cool. Very exciting.
Success. So
make sure that you guys are on next week. And we will be cheersing virtually with Lemoncello. Cool. Say goodnight, Carl. Carl was behind Andre the whole time. Bye, guys. Thank you so much. Bye, dudes.